Well, hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. I'm Corny Swiss, and today I'm going to kind of demonstrate a new, what I think is probably the best strategy for the new spawn system for Kursk. I guess it's not new anymore, but the spawn where the southern team spawns way out to the east, and the northern team spawns at the base of the ridge. Traditionally, the team that spawns in the south, which is Germans, has an advantage because their guns are built more for the long-range engagements, and the Russian guns have to close a distance, but the Germans are up on a ridge with just sitting there shooting into the advancing Russians, so they get wrecked. So the strategy that I've always thought would work, and I've seen done, but I've never done myself, is to run along the downslope of this ridge and flank their whole position. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. Now I have an ally with me, and between us we're going to have we're both going to have quite good games. And I don't know how much of it is this strategy. I don't feel like this video demonstrates what you should do, but I imagine in higher ranks it'll be more apparent that the Germans will be back on the ridge. We run into them a little bit sooner than I kind of expected. But the thought still holds. If you can run along this ridge and pop out at a weird position, and you got to be sure to stay low enough on the ridge. Like, I even might be a little too high when I was cresting up here, so that you don't get spotted on the minimap while you're pushing forward. I mean, it's all thrown into whack if one of their guys goes the other way. But a lot of times you can kind of show up unexpected on this flank. And we have this 38T here that need to be dealt with. But now I'm all the way over here, and it's actually, I thought, pretty odd that this Stug was coming over the hill here. I think what must have happened is they pushed down. But we're going to see some better examples here. So we get the Stug, and I immediately take a hit from the 3F, who's actually right next to the Stug. I just didn't immediately see him. But he's on fire now, which is nice. But the important thing is now that basically I've been able to safely push forward, get onto the ridge at a range where my gun can be really, really effective and deal with these German tanks. Now, granted, at rank 2, German guns haven't really developed, I guess, to the point where they're dominant. I mean, 3Fs have a very dangerous 50mm gun. 38Ts can surprise you sometimes. They don't have a bad gun. And then you have Stugs, which have those heat rounds, which can be pretty dangerous. But once, I think in rank 3 and 4, this sort of strategy will be more, it'll be more, what's the word? When you do it, I think you'll experience better results. However, you need them all looking down into the valley, so you need some tanks to kind of be the fodder and just run as fast as they can. However, they should probably wait back a little. I mean, this all implies teamwork, which this is very difficult to get sometimes. But if the people who are going to rush down the hill wait, a minute or two, let the people who are flanking get going, then when they start rushing down and the enemy are looking at them and shooting at them, your guys can immediately pop up on the flank and start spamming rounds into their sides. This would be really effective, I think, in rank 4, because a lot of the German tanks are tough from the front but paper on the sides when compared to the ammunition they're going up against. Prime example I can think of is a Ferdinand. The Ferdy really dominates those long-range engagements. So if you can put it in a position where you're on the flank and it has to turn to deal with you, it's toast. Whenever you make the Ferdinand turn, I mean, he's done. I mean, he's going to get whoever he was shooting at before is now going to shoot him. So I don't know, I feel like this I feel like this is the way for the Russian teams to play this map. You either flank along the ridge or you flank way out to the west, like past all the AI, and then sweep around to the cap. You still run into the issue where if the Germans control this ridge, it becomes very, very difficult to win. I mean, you would have seen that in the premium KV1 video I put out recently. I don't know how many days ago that was, because this is pre-uploaded, so quite frankly, I have no idea when this is going to go out, but it will go out sometime over the weekend, probably. TM. But, yeah. So, in that video, you saw an example of where they flanked way out to the west, but we were able to turn and deal with it and still use our long-range guns. So, that's why I think along this ridge is probably the best option, because it's so much faster. The other way is so much slower that whoever does go in that on the eastern side of the ridge is going to be destroyed before you get a chance to start your flank. I mean, you're going to be way out there, still at long range, and you're now supposed to engage targets that have just cleaned up the rest of your force that was attacking from the front. So you can see what I mean. It's kind of like you give them enough time to deal with the first threat, and then when they turn, it doesn't matter because they've dealt with everything. So I think the path I took might be the best option if you're trying to close the distance to the German team. But at this point in the battle, we're kind of just cleaning up. The enemy are down to like their last tank. It's a Stug 3A, and my randomly selected platoon mate is going to run into the Stug, which is a little unfortunate for him. But, you know, all in all, it's okay. He got knocked out, but I'm going to go over there and polish off that Stug. Just got to find him first. And hopefully he's not looking at me, because that would be rather unfortunate. I mean, that guy was driving a T-34 or 1941, which is what I'm driving, and the Stug was able to deal with him. So that would indicate the Stug has an idea of what he's doing. It's probably the same Stug that we ran into before that I was able to shoot up and get my second kill on. But that was partly because my first shot, I think, just got his gunner, and then from there the second shot knocked him out, or the third, or whatever it was. But he was disabled to the point where he couldn't return fire. And at the range he was at, I'm pretty sure he could have easily hit me. But now we're coming up over here, because we know the Stug is in this area. And if I was him, I'd be camping back, trying to use my armor, and we've actually spotted him now on the mini-map. I have no idea where he is. He's being very sneaky. I think he might be just right on the other side of that bush. No? I just can't see him. I was looking for him. But eventually we do spot him. It's going to help when we start seeing the tracers and the kick of the ground. And that's going to kind of give me an indication of where he is. First shot damaged his suspension. It's a little iffy now. He's moving fairly fast. But we should be able to, once he stops, we should be able to get target or shots on him. And he is actually going to stop. Which, I mean, he knows I'm over here, but I guess the issue he's having is that I mean, he's the last guy. He's it. So, not a whole lot he can do. I'm just trying to reposition a little bit, making sure I'm angled in case he decides to turn towards me. So I can just keep shooting him, but set him on fire. Next shot's going to do him in. And there we go. So 5 kills for each of us. And yeah, it was good. I think we only lost 1 tank in the entire thing, and that was the teammate who ran face first into that Stug. I imagine the Stug like just randomly showed up, or else the Stug got lucky, or the T-34 maybe wasn't in the best positioning, but either way, we won, and it was a really fun game, and I hope that the path I went can kind of, I don't know, it needs further testing. I need to play Kursk more, but obviously it's difficult sometimes to pick the map you get. But I'd be interested to see how it does in Rank 4. So next time I get a chance, I'll certainly have a go and try and make that maneuver. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. And let me know what you think of that strategy, because I think it could work. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. I've been Corny Swiss, and I'll see you next time.